Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Monica Denias and I'm a therapist and mental health coach based in Dallas, Texas. And today I'm gonna do a June monthly reset routine. I got inspiration from Carter Sullivan. I'm going to make sure that I link her channel down below. I wanted to do my own spin on it. I thought this would be great to give myself accountability for the goals that I set and just kind of also be able to reflect on the month. And I've been doing this routine since January of 2022. It's a fairly new routine for me. So I'm gonna kind of walk you through what that looks like for me. I am a business owner, so I own my own private practice. A lot of the things that I talk about are business related, but we are also gonna talk about personal stuff. So I'm really excited to get the video started. Let's get into it. So the first thing that I like to do for my monthly reset routine is to grab some coffee, whether that is going to a local coffee shop or just making some coffee here at home. But coffee is essential as we're doing all of these things. I want to share what my goals for May were and kind of walk you through together if I was able to accomplish those goals, as well as set new goals for the month of June. So let's get into some goal setting. So I use the Peacefully Productive Planner, and in between every month there are some blank pages, so I use that section to write my goals. And so I have 4 categories: personal, business, financial, and health and wellness. And so I'm gonna kind of go through with that. Now, I have decided to just block out the specific amount as far as gross income. I don't want to get into like specific income I make. It's something that I want to keep private. So let's just go into May goals and see if we hit them. For the month of May, for my personal goal, I set out a goal to hang out with friends at least twice. So I don't know about you, but I get really stuck in like the cycle of busyness, and that means that I have to really put intention on hanging out with friends. And so for the month of May, I gave myself this goal of doing it twice a month. As adults, it's so really hard to keep up with friends, and you have to make those intentions to hang out with friends. And so I actually ended up hanging out with friends like at least 4 times this month. So we overpassed that goal. Try a new coffee shop and restaurant. I did try a new coffee shop this month as well as a restaurant. So we're gonna read 1 self-help book. So I'm actually almost done with it, and it is May 25th as I'm recording this. So I am going to take the rest of the week to continue reading it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, we read 1 self-help book. And then, so for my business, record 2 YouTube videos. So I actually did record 2 YouTube videos. I did a therapist tries that girl routine, as well as this monthly reset video. So yeah, we are on track. Get to 100 YouTube subscribers. Let's go ahead and check. I haven't honestly checked how many subscribers I have. So as of May 25th, I have 90 subscribers. So I have 90 subscribers right now. So unfortunately I didn't meet my goal, but there are still like 6 days left for the rest of the month, so that could be potentially reached. But as of right now, as I'm recording the video, I have not reached it. So we're gonna go ahead and put there. So hit the specific gross income. I actually didn't hit that specific income goal. I'm gonna No, so I didn't meet that specific income goal that I wanted to reach this month, and that's okay. This month has been a lot of transitions, so I'm okay not hitting it. I feel like June is gonna be so much better, and plus, April was a very high income month. So I think that kind of, I think that breaks down. I feel like as an entrepreneur, you're gonna constantly see like ebbs and flows of income. So it's okay we didn't hit that goal, that's fine. Get one new private pay client. So a private pay client is so that they pay the regular fee. We're not using, I don't use insurance, so basically just having a new client. And I actually did get a new client. So we met that goal. Financial. So I have such an impulsive shopping like habit, and I have a budget. So I have a budget of $80 for the month. The goal that I had was no clothes shopping unless it's an essential item, and that didn't happen. So I gave myself a budget of $80 to spend for the month on just like new clothes, and I actually probably surpassed that, and I can tell you right now. So I actually surpassed my budget. So my budget was $80, and I spent, as of May 25th, $110.36. So we went over budget by like $30. Now this isn't going to ruin my life, but it does mean that I didn't hit the financial goal that I had for myself of not spending on unessential items. Okay, the try not to eat out a lot. So this was ambiguous. I feel like I didn't really set a SMART goal here. Like I wasn't very specific. So no, we did not meet that goal either because we ate out a lot. Like I'm looking here, and our eating out budget literally is like really high. Dining out, yeah. So as of May 25th, we dined out. Like we went over budget. So that's gonna be a no. I'm being real here. Like I don't meet all my goals, and it's okay. Okay, so the next section is health and wellness. You work out at least 1 to 2 twice a week, off on period week, and I didn't actually meet it every week. So I think I could be better about this particular one because there was one week where I worked out like 4 times that week, and then there was another week where I just worked out once. So I'm not, but I at least at a minimum want to work or move my body 1 to twice a week. So I did meet that goal. So we're still gonna try to be consistent. The try an online dance workout, didn't do that either. Honestly, I completely forgot about this. And so that's why it's important to check in or have like a reminder to check in with your goals, because sometimes you forget about the goals you even set up. And so if we don't actually schedule time or a task for ourselves to focus on that goal, then it's not gonna happen. So it didn't happen. So as you can see, we didn't meet all of our goals, and that is absolutely fine. I think for me, if I'm reaching my personal goals, which is being intentional, spending time with friends, trying new things, reading something that makes me feel good, I think I'm doing really great. And if I'm hitting at least half of my business goals, then I'm also doing great. Now, this is the health and wellness and the financial could definitely use a lot of work, and that's okay. That's kind of where I can improve. So those were the goals for the month of May, and as you can see, I didn't reach all of them, and that is okay. Now I take some time to reflect on how my month went before I actually do my June goals. I think reflection is so important. Before we even set new goals for ourselves, we need to really understand like what was happening in the month and what could help support us in the next month. So I'm going to put all of the questions that I use to reflect right here as I reflect and type out my answers, and then I'll come back and share that with you, some of the answers to the reflection questions. How how did I feel overall this month? And physically, I felt tired some weeks and really bloated towards the end of the month. Like I said, like we ate out a lot and that didn't make me feel really great. So it is something to focus on next month, to prioritize not eating out a lot or seeing what foods are causing like me being super bloated. The first month was filled with just a lot of friend time and I absolutely loved that. And then we got some amazing news about my husband moving industry, so that made me feel really good. So overall the month was really great. I actually, you know, had some kind of like PTSD for this month because last year, this month was really tough for me. Like between April and May was really tough. If you want to hear all about what I was going through at that time, it's episode 73 on my podcast, where I share lessons every entrepreneur should learn. And so I kind of go into the previous of like last year in 2021, how I was feeling. So compared to last year, things have literally shifted so much, and honestly, I'm really grateful for where I'm at now in my business, in my personal life. I was able to let go of a lot of things that weren't serving me. So overall, month is great. One of the questions is, did I make rest a priority this month? Yes and no. So when I say yes and no, I still find myself scrolling on TikTok more than I wanted because I kind of gave up on my nighttime routine some weeks. So I think really prioritizing, maybe giving myself a reminder, because if I didn't have a reminder, I knew, oh, like I could just scroll forever. But for the most part, like weekends, I was really resting. Like I wasn't working or anything. And even throughout the week, my team had my back on doing tasks to help me with the business, and things were just like slow, but like a good slow, if that makes sense. So yes, we prioritized rest, yes, but I think like with scrolling on TikTok was just the thing that we need to definitely gain back control. And then, did I make progress on the goals that I chose to focus on this month? As you can see, I did reach my goals. I was able to make progress on those goals, and it looks like financial and health and wellness needs to be prioritized more, or that could be an intention for the next month. And then wins I'm celebrating this month. So I was able to, wins, my clients are making progress, which is amazing, which is not my win, but it's their win, but that makes me feel so good. I was actually on a podcast, so that was fun for Mental Health Awareness Month. My husband, we got news that he's moving industries. I'm feeling good about business changes that are coming up. There is some anxiety, but I think changes are going to really help me. And what some of those changes that I'm talking about is, so I had to let go, or I didn't have to, but I chose to let go my social media manager, who I've had a long, term relationship with, and really because I'm really trying to figure out how I want to show up in that space, and it was no longer aligned with the vision that I had. And I also think I need to take some time to reflect what that's going to look like for me, because I just don't want to post. Like I don't just want to post on social media, on Instagram, just to post. And I felt like that's what we were doing, just posting to post. And I really want to be intentional, and I also really want it to support my business. And if it's not supporting my business, some things have to change. So then that means that my virtual assistant is actually going to take some of those tasks. So we're going to work on that together in the next couple of months. And I honestly was feeling very overwhelmed, because I'm like, well, I've honestly loved having that support, and now I'm not going to have it. So I actually had to reflect and tell myself, like, what are the things that I'm worried could happen, right? And like I was catastrophizing. Catastrophizing is a word we use for when we're thinking that the worst possible case scenario will happen. And if you struggled with anxiety, you've probably catastrophized. So yeah, so we call that catastrophizing. It's a cognitive distortion. It is a thinking error that our brain does to try to protect ourselves. So that's what my brain was doing. It was like trying to protect me from failing or from perceived failure. And so I had to kind of really say like, what are the things that I need? And I had a conversation with my VA, and I'm actually scheduling a call too about like speaking about my fears and things like that. Because I think if as a business owner, if you don't really take the time to slow down and reflect on your fears, then you're just running, trying to like play catch up, and you never really fix the things that are causing you any like disalignment in your business. So it's exciting, but challenging too. So I'm kind of curious to see how the next months turn out. And then the next reflection question is, next month I want to change, and I kind of already talked about that. I want to prioritize health and wellness. I want to prioritize spending less money on clothes, prioritize staying off, you know, TikTok, and then resetting my night routine. And then something that I learned this month was that I can show up as my true self, and people value that. And being vulnerable gains me the most impact in both personal and business. And that's actually something that I keep relearning, right? On the moments where I tell myself I need to do this certain way because someone is doing it this way, I have to ground myself to be like, that's not what worked for your business. What worked for your business is really showing up truthfully and authentically yourself, and that's what clients come to you for. So that's something that I learned this month, or relearned again. So now I'm going to take some time to create my June goals, and I will come back to share those with you. Okay, so these are the goals for the month of June. I'm going to put them right here, and I'm going to kind of reference them myself. So for personal, I want to schedule intentional time with friends, at least see my friends 3 times this month. I want to try a new coffee shop, restaurant, or a new activity. So as a recovering perfectionist, sometimes it's hard to try new things because I could get stuck in the things that I like to do, or I may not try a new activity because I'm not good at it right away. So I definitely want to try either a new coffee shop, a new restaurant, or a new activity. And then for personal as well, I want to schedule date night activities for the week. Well, actually not for the week. I want to schedule date nights for like the rest of the month. And so I know that when we schedule date nights, we then have things to look forward to, and we're more intentional with spending that time together, me and my husband. So I want to schedule date nights, so find fun activities, and that could also be trying a new activity or checking out a new restaurant. So it's kind of like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So that's my personal. So my business, hitting a specific amount of gross income. So that is not net, this is just gross. But yeah, so hitting a specific gross income. It's actually the same one from this past month. So I'm hoping that June will happen. Then also reevaluate my social media strategy by surveying my audience. So I really want to make sure that June is really much of like reflecting and evaluating what that's going to look like for me. And then get 150 YouTube subscribers. So I know I didn't meet my goal for 100, but I am pretty sure I'll be meeting it by the beginning of June. And so hopefully by then, for the rest of the month, I can focus on getting an additional 50. And then recording 2 YouTube videos. I think that's what helps me stay ahead. This category is financial. And so I got more specific here. So just eating out twice a week, that feels more doable than saying like eat out, don't eat out a lot. So I'm getting a little bit more specific there. But then I ended up putting staying in budget on my clothing category. So instead of saying don't spend any money, which I think wasn't helpful, if I say just stay in budget, I would be okay. I want to be mindful of when I'm purchasing. And then I want to talk to my financial advisor about updating our savings plan, because as I said, my husband is moving into a different industry, so that means different pay, different all that. So I really want to talk about that with our financial advisor. Now that we may have some more income coming in, how can we use that to, so we may be having more income coming in. I also raised my rates. So again, more income is coming in. So I want to be able to put that money into savings. Then for health and wellness, I want to schedule workouts or moving my body at least twice a week. Like again, if I do more than great, like I feel like some months I do really, really well, and then some months I'm like, ooh, can't do it. So I definitely want to schedule them. Then I want to go to a dance class in person. I love in-person dance classes, but I just avoid them like the plague. So I'm putting this here so that I can be kept accountable. And then I want to research to find a new therapist. So I actually was seeing a therapist up until I want to say March. And she definitely supported me with the specific things that I went to her for. And so now I want to find a different therapist, because that particular therapist only did online, and I really want to go in person. So I want to research a new therapist. So I'm excited. Let me know if you want me to do a video on how to find a therapist, and then maybe that will be something that I do. But other than that, those are my June goals. That's what our goals look like for me. So I hope this was helpful or inspirational. If you're a business owner, or if you're just an ambitious gal who just loves setting goals. So I wanted to share my monthly favorites as far as content. So these are gonna be books, podcasts, things like that. But I wanna start first with like fiction. So I love reading fiction this month. I wish I would have read more, but I read 3 books that I absolutely loved. One of them was I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter. If you are part of the Hispanic culture, I think you should definitely read this because it really resonated with me. Then I read One True Loves, which if you love romance, it is a really good book. Then I read The Things We Never Got Over, and that was also kind of like a romance spicy book. So if you like those kinds of genres, then you will definitely like these 3 options, and I'll definitely link them down below. Now for personal development, I told you that I read, well, that I'm reading, because I'm not done yet, but I'm going to finish this month, The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. Recommend anything Brene Brown. She is absolutely amazing, and I love her style of writing. So really recommend if you struggle with perfectionism, if you struggle with being vulnerable, I think this book is going to be a good read for you. And then as for other personal development content that I loved, I am loving listening to Elizabeth McCravy's The Breakthrough Brand podcast. I think she's so incredible and sweet, and she really gives like tangible pieces of advice that you could apply to your business. Now I'm a therapist, and she does like show it template websites, but the way she shares her business advice, it could be related to any type of industry. So really recommend her. I actually purchased a template from her, and that's what I use for my website right now. And I'm gonna link all that below as well. The next piece of content that I wanted to share that I really, really loved this month was Vanessa Lau's like email newsletter. She is a content creator, CEO, YouTuber. She does a lot of stuff, and I really enjoyed her newsletter. It's called Confessions of a Content Creator to CEO. And in her latest email, she kind of gives you a recap of her quarter 1, and I really love her vulnerability and how she shared some of like the struggles that a lot of entrepreneurs have. So I thought that was very transparent of her, and I've been really loving her content. So again, I will link what I'm referencing down below. But other than that, those were all of my kind of favorites as far as content that I consumed for the month. And what I like to do to end the whole monthly reset is doing a Pinterest board for the month of June. Something that I can find like inspiration in. So I am going to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna take you along creating my vision board. So I'm using my personal Pinterest account, so you won't find this on my business Pinterest account, but we're gonna create a board. I'm gonna put this June vision board. They're going to start pinning. And this is our June vision board. Isn't it so cute? Super cute. So we're prioritizing rest, we're prioritizing friend time, we're prioritizing workouts, and we're doing it in style. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you want more monthly resets, make sure you like this video and hit the subscribe button. See you in my next video.